There's never been a better time to become a YouTuber or an artist or a musician or a writer or whatever type of creative you want to be. And it doesn't even matter when you're watching this video. I'm sure it will still apply. And today I want to talk about why that is. And hopefully if you've ever thought to yourself, man, I'd love to be a YouTuber or an artist or a musician, whatever it is, but I just can't do it. I don't have what it takes. The algorithm sucks, or nobody cares about what I want to make. You know, if you said those things, I'm going to try and convince you that things aren't as bad as they seem. And I think you should do it. You should be a YouTuber or an artist or a musician, whatever it is, if that's what you want to do, even if it's really hard and it sucks for a while. And I'm going to back that up by telling you a little bit about me and my story when it comes to YouTube and all that, and all the things I've learned from the people smarter than me. So I was lying in bed the other day and just, doom scrolling YouTube, as you do. And I stumbled on a video called Monetization Will Ruin the Internet Again. And I watched through that video and I wrote down a lot of thoughts I had while I did, which I basically never do. I didn't even take notes in college. And I'll talk more about what that video had to say in a minute, but it had me thinking really negatively about my job, which is YouTube and content creation. And with the news of Rooster Teeth shutting down the other day, and and all these YouTubers retiring lately, I got to thinking that the time to be a YouTuber is essentially over. Like, the train has left the station. But then I later stumbled on a video called Ranting About Emergent Narrative in Daggerfall. And all it was a 45-minute video of a guy with less than 1,000 subscribers at the time, ranting about Daggerfall. But specifically, he was ranting about something niche that he was really passionate about. And it was just him narrating over 45 minutes of playing Daggerfall while he shared his thoughts. And it had thousands of views, not hundreds of thousands, but a lot more than you would ever expect a video with basically no editing to perform on a channel with basically no subscribers. And that video, more than the negative video I watched earlier, is what really inspired this video. Because I was inspired to really return to my roots and go back to what got me making videos and streaming in the first place. And that's connecting with people and sharing cool experiences and really just making and sharing shit that I think is cool. Let's back it up a bit. When I first started, I'm trying to avoid using the word content because it's one of those words that I've heard and said so much now that doesn't even sound like a word really, but I need a catch-all word that encompasses everything that I create because it's not limited to just videos now. So when I first started creating content, I was consuming a lot of motivational stuff. I was watching Jordan Peterson inspirational shit. I was watching Gary Vee, dudes that these days I can't fucking stand. Because as a lot of people have figured out, most of their shit is toxic positivity at best and straight up harmful and abusive and manipulative at worst. But all the toxic positivity and the hashtag grind set was all in my head. And I had all this motivation and I was going to do it. I was going to be a YouTuber. So then I started watching all of the how to grow on YouTube channels and courses. And I started spreading all that toxic positivity to my audience and really making people feel good about themselves, and that convinced them to sub to my Twitch or Patreon or whatever. And it created this feedback loop where I felt like I was in a kind of pyramid scheme where I was trying to make a career out of just telling people that they can make a career out of whatever they set their mind to. And the more I made them believe that, the more viewers I had, regardless of whether or not those people were actually finding success in their creative pursuits. So the more I started to realize this, the more I got severely burnt out and disillusioned with my value as a creator because I didn't really even know what videos I wanted to make anymore. And that's why the Daggerfall video meant so much to me. I watched all 45 minutes and I don't even like the Elder Scrolls games. I'll be real. That's my hot take of the day. It helped me remember that my goal with my videos and stuff is to inspire others to just be more creative. Not by telling them how they can crack the algorithm or get monetized in 30 days or all that same shit that thousands of grifters are spouting out every month, but by doing it and being more creative myself and showing how awesome it is to lead a creative life and to think more deeply about your favorite games and movies and to take on challenges that you set out for yourself. So why am I saying there's never been a better time to be a YouTuber and a creator? And why do I think it's only going to keep getting better from here? There will always be a quote unquote meta that will push a few creators to their 15 minutes of fame or whatever and to social media celebrity status, but the vast majority of people are going to find their definition of success in the creator space by carving out their own section of it with their interests and personality. And while the algorithms and corporations, God damn it, I'm really sucking at these special stages today. So what was I saying? Even though the companies and algorithms behind the platforms will always be, fundamentally flawed, it's clear to me that it's getting easier and easier for creators across the board to connect with the people that actually care what they have to say. Right now, audiences on YouTube and really like people across the internet are starting to get bored of the Mr. Beast style, hyper-stimulating, overproduced bullshit that's flooding social media right now. The retention meta, as people have called it, it's dying. And even the How to Grow on YouTube channels are starting to talk about how authenticity and personal connection are on their way back in. And I don't think they ever left. I just think that people are realizing that they don't want to just endlessly scroll TikTok and Twitter until their brains rot. And that's created an opportunity where now the audience for long form videos are searching out that authenticity and that ability to engage on a more personal level. And so the algorithm is starting to push those videos again. In the comments of that Daggerfall video, there was someone saying something like, my favorite niche on YouTube is just nerds talking passionately about their nerd shit, whatever it is. That says to me that anybody today more than ever can make a career out of just sharing what they love to do and make with the world. That all being said, there's also good reason to believe that there's never been a worse time to be a YouTuber or a creator on the internet. And that comes down to the perils and pitfalls of monetization. The video I mentioned earlier, monetization will ruin the internet again, is built on the idea that money as an incentive for creative work. I'm so mad about that block that I missed. That money as an incentive for creative work doesn't actually foster creativity. It stands really in direct opposition to it. That video explains that idea in much more detail and just precise language than I ever could. So I'm going to kind of hit it from a different angle. There's this D&D and tabletop focused YouTuber named Matt Colville that has a video called something like How to Do Better Rewards in D&D, or some other way better title, where he talks about one of the lessons he learned working in tabletop and video game development was that the behavior a game rewards is the behavior a game encourages. That's a simple enough concept, but the applications are virtually endless. It's actually why I think a lot of people bounce off the classic Sonic games, this game especially, because in Sonic 1, if you go in with the idea that you're supposed to like go fast, right? Because that's what all the marketing would have you believe. That's what all your friends would have you believe the game is about. You're not going to have a good time. This game does not reward you going fast. It rewards you keeping all of your rings until the end of the level, because that's how you get to the special stages and how you unlock the secret ending and shit. So it's really about going slow at first. You've got to go slow and be careful. Otherwise, if you try to go fast, you're going to run into this spike. And then get set down to the bottom of the level, and I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. It's really only on repeat playthroughs where you've kind of learned the level layout and you've gotten better at controlling Sonic that your navigation through the levels allows you to go fast. And then speed becomes its own reward, and then you're encouraged to go fast. Maybe a more relevant example to my point is RuneScape. You get gold for doing quests or jobs or whatever. I haven't actually played RuneScape, but bear with me here. And the fun of the game and the actual gameplay is in like the quests, right? But the reason you pick one quest over another isn't necessarily which one is going to be more fun or the one that makes sense to for your character in like a roleplay sense or whatever. It's probably just gonna be the one that offers more gold. And then what happens when somebody finds the infinite money glitch? There's just no fun to the game anymore because you're not playing a game, you're just inputting a glitch. What is considered the reward is entirely dependent on what the player values. If you go into Sonic valuing only speed, you're going to be disappointed. If you go into RuneScape valuing only the in-game money, you're not going to have fun. And that's what happens when you mix money with YouTube. As soon as money is a potential motivator, it stops being about making the videos you want to make and starts being more about what videos are going to make more money. Does censoring curse words actually make a video better, or does it just make the video more ad-friendly? Does editing the shit out of the intro make the video feel more important to you? No, it just hacks people's brains to not want to click away. I mean, I'm someone who loves editing, and I think editing can enhance, comedic timings and allow you to communicate things that you just can't with a recording. But it's gotten to the point where I no longer think of editing as a storytelling tool or a creative outlet. I've been constantly conditioned to look at editing through the lens of, how can I manipulate people to keep their eyes on me and not on that other guy in the sidebar trying to manipulate them to put their eyes on him. And that's soul crushing. You know, when I was a kid, the adults in my life taught me this idea that hard work is valuable. And the harder you work, the more you deserve to be rewarded. It's this idea called meritocracy. There are YouTube gurus out there that will tell you that YouTube is a meritocracy and that the best way to grow on YouTube is simply to work harder and upload more videos than the other guy or whatever. That is the biggest crock of shit I've heard in my fucking life. If you're someone who's uploaded at least 2 YouTube videos, you'll know that the amount of work you put into those videos and how many views they get aren't correlated like at all. If you work twice as hard on video A than on video B, you will not find that you'll get twice as many views on video A. In fact, a lot of the time you'll find you'll get less views on video A. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a craft you can hone over time to make videos that the views trend upwards and all that. And hard work and dedication does benefit that, but that's how you start getting advice like, put out as many videos as you can, publish weekly, publish daily, because each video is a lottery ticket that could launch your channel into the stratosphere. I mean, how fucked up is it that we compare YouTube videos to lottery tickets and then turn around and tell people that it's all about their hard work? And at the same time, can we really look at channels that have AI-generated titles and AI-generated thumbnails and an AI-generated voice reading over a ChatGPT script over stock footage? Can we really look at those channels and say that the people running those channels are working harder than literally any of us or anyone else? And that's just when we consider view count. When you start talking about income, the disconnect is even bigger. The amount of money you make from a video is more based on the video topic than it is about the view count. A gaming video could get 10 times as many views as a finance video, and the finance video will probably still make 10 times as much money. I've heard other people say, like when I was younger, and I probably would have said when I was younger, something along the lines of like, oh, that's called working smarter, not harder. And it's like, well, then are the people doing the infinite money glitch in RuneScape working smarter than the people doing quests? No, they just missed the entire fucking point of playing RuneScape and probably just Googled how to do the infinite money glitch in the first place anyway. The crux of it all is that life is not meritocracy. Modern life is starting with no money and then spending most of your time finding the people who have money and trying to convince them to give you money. That's all a job is. That's all sales is. You're not rewarded for your work because of how much work you did or how hard it was. You're rewarded for how much you convince someone else your work is worth. And the behavior the game rewards is the behavior the game encourages. So working hard isn't encouraged. Manipulating people is encouraged. In YouTube's case, clickbait is encouraged. AI slop is encouraged. Spending dozens of hours making this 15 minutes of moving pictures you've made as immersive or effective or funny as possible, that's not encouraged because it's not rewarded. And so why doesn't everyone, or really like the better question is, what's stopping you right now from posting AI-generated videos about how to manage money or run a business? It's probably because you don't want to, right? You have no interest in doing that. You don't value doing that. It's not why you became a YouTuber or want to become a YouTuber or whatever. Your interest in YouTube comes from the videos you want to make. It's where the fucking name YouTube comes from, which leads me to something else I've been thinking about a lot lately, and that's the concept of Dharma. Now, Dharma is a word you may or may not have heard before, but I've been watching a whole lot of this guy called Dr. K. He's got a channel on here called Healthy Gamer GG, and he's essentially, he was a gaming addict who flunked out of college, and so his dad sent him to India to become a Buddhist monk, and the monks kicked him out and told him to go find his purpose in life because they told him his purpose wasn't to become a monk. And he said he was sad at first because he kind of liked the idea of becoming a monk. But he went back to America and eventually became a Harvard psychiatrist. He got his life together and became a psychiatrist. And now he has a YouTube channel specifically to help the kind of gamer, YouTuber, Redditor, Twitch streamer type community with mental health problems specific to gaming and social media, and to help find purpose. Because one of the more like Eastern philosophy concepts he talks about is Dharma. And so what is Dharma? It's the simplest way I've heard people describe it is that Dharma is kind of like, it's kind of like your purpose in life, but like that doesn't really cover it. Because who really knows what their purpose in life is? You know, when you're a kid, you're made to think that one day you're going to, oh shit, I can just spin dash through here. When you're a kid, you're made to feel like, you know, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, my purpose in life is to be a doctor. My purpose in life is to be a firefighter. And it just doesn't work that way. Dharma, as I understand it, is more like, what do you choose to do that may or may not be what you want to do, or even what makes the most sense to do, but what makes your life better or more harmonious, as Dr. K would say it. It's the idea that your life gets better and that you're overall happier when you do what you truly value and what truly needs to be done instead of what, society tells you to do or what gives you instant gratification. Here's an example. I used to have a day job that wasn't YouTube or content creation, right? It was a very cushy office job. I booked the job before I even graduated college. I started immediately. It was in my degree field. It had awesome benefits, paid fairly well. I had great friends that worked there, and I was miserable. I worked there for 2 years, and then I quit. And my family was baffled. It was very hard for the people around me to understand how I could check every box on like the happiness list and just leave it for the uncertainty that comes with, making videos on the internet. A lot of them thought I was depressed, and to a certain degree I was, but I've experienced depression, like the kind of depression that meds and therapy are supposed to fix or, at least treat. And I just knew that this was different. I spent every morning looking forward to lunch, every afternoon looking forward to getting home, and every single night dreading going to work the next day. And the reason was that I didn't care about what I was doing. I liked what I was doing, I liked programming, but I was constantly doing what I consider to be busy work and going to meetings that didn't matter. And the problem at the end of the day wasn't really with the job. There are people who wouldn't have considered it busy work. And, I had coworkers who got something out of those meetings, but it wasn't the job for me. My dharma is creative work. It's expressing my thoughts and feelings through music and games and videos. It's making people laugh and making people think and making people feel confident in themselves and showing them gratitude. I feel like it's still not a great example because it's not just about long-term stuff like your job or life choices or whatever. It's really about the present moment. I like to think about it more in terms of, what you put your attention towards, because you really can't put your attention towards something in the future, right? You can plan to put your attention on something in the future, or you can put your present attention on thinking about something that will or might happen in the future. But your attention is always a matter of the present moment. So I think of dharma as like putting your attention on the things that matter most and also eliminating the things that take your attention away from the things that matter. So cleaning your room or your workspace might not be what like matters most right now, but having a cluttered mess and having the negative feelings of being dirty might be distracting you from getting your work done, or even just enjoying your video games fully. And so that feeling that's pulling your attention to something that would make your life better, in a sense, that's dharma. It's not the same thing as motivation, because motivation is very fleeting and it's not very well understood by the vast majority of people. Because I bet some of you are laying in bed watching this video, when in the back of your mind, you're like, I should be doing something else, right? I do this all the fucking time. I'm so bad about getting out of bed in the morning. And it's not necessarily that we're not getting out of bed because we're not motivated to go work on the things that we're really passionate about. It's that your brain is like, yeah, but right now, this bed is so comfy. The sheets are so warm. This YouTube video is so engaging. If you're watching a video other than this one, in this hypothetical, I mean. And so your brain is really motivated to stay in bed and keep doing what you're doing. So dharma is really the voice or the call in the back of your head that you hear toward what you really feel you're supposed to be doing, especially when you aren't doing it or aren't motivated to do it. I was really motivated to stay at that day job with all the money and benefits and social approval from the people I cared about, but it wasn't making me truly happy. It's what people mean when they say that's not your calling, right? My favorite movie of all time is, it's Empire Strikes Back, but the movie that really speaks most to me and that I can most relate to is Spider-Man 2. That movie is about how Peter Parker is trying to balance being Spider-Man with all the things that he's motivated toward, his friendship, his schoolwork, paying the bills because being Spidey don't pay. And he's really having a rough go of it. And he can't make anyone happy, and he's losing his superpowers. And so he quits being Spider-Man. And for a little while, he has he has a great time. He goes and sees Mary Jane's play. He catches up on schoolwork. He's becoming everything he dreamed of being. And yet MJ, Aunt May, everybody in his life can tell that something is wrong, right? He's not being himself. And then he sees a mugging going on, and he hears the call, right? He even reaches for his shirt to do his like Superman rip open the shirt costume quick change thing. And he realizes he's not wearing the costume and he doesn't have his powers, and there's nothing he can do about it. Later on, he sees a burning apartment building, and he hears there's a kid trapped in there. And he can't hold back anymore, He runs in and saves the kid, even without his powers, only to overhear from the firemen that they found a body on a different floor of somebody that didn't make it out. And he's just crushed. You feel screwed either way. It doesn't matter what he does. He can't save everyone. He can't please everyone. He can't be everything he wants to be. And so what does he do? He enjoys some chocolate cake. And learns to appreciate the little moments in life that he can, and eventually accepts that, he can't save everyone, and he can't please everyone, and all he can do is listen to the calling to do good and do his best at it, even if it means giving up the simple pleasures of a life with less responsibility. So what's this got to do with being a YouTuber, right? Because I'm not so full of myself to think that being a YouTuber is like being a superhero, right? The comparison I'm trying to draw is that every single one of us has something, or in reality, probably a lot of things that we could be doing that would at least make life a little bit better for ourselves and the people around us, that we're probably ignoring in favor of what's easier or what's more immediately rewarding, instantly gratifying, whatever, or even what's expected by the people around us. So I'm talking specifically to you who have felt a calling like that to something artistic or creative, whether that be making videos on YouTube or Twitch streaming or making music or drawing, acting, theater production, film production, writing fiction, whatever it is. I think you should do it. It doesn't mean you have to be full-time or have it be your sole source of income. Even Spider-Man's got to deliver pizzas on the side. I just think that if you've got something to say, you should say it. Something to make it. A lot of people, especially people who aren't happy at their jobs, are going to tell you that you need a real job and that what you do doesn't contribute to society or whatever. Fuck that shit. Art is society. Without art, there is no society. We'd all just eat and drink and piss and shit and breathe and sleep and die. We'd have no culture. There'd be nothing to distinguish this group of people from that group of people, and yet we would all feel just so alone and completely isolated because we would run around thinking that nobody had ever lived without experiencing what you had experienced, and nobody had ever known how it feels to feel what you feel before. And there will be other people who try to tell you what is and isn't art, and that what you do isn't art. Fuck them too. That replica of your real life house that you built in Minecraft, that's art. Those drawings of your, supernatural fan character with their hands always behind their back because you're terrified of drawing hands, art. That YouTube video with 27 views you made talking about your conspiracy theory that different colored M&Ms are actually different flavors, that's fucking art, my homie. Because regardless of whether it's acting or writing or music or YouTube videos, whatever creative pursuit you like and are drawn to and you choose will have some kind of craft that you can improve on. And improving at your craft means you're able to make more intentional choices. And those intentional choices add up to you being able to more accurately express yourself and create something that resonates even more with what you're trying to achieve. And that means that piece of art will be more uniquely you because no one will have the same intentions as you. And yet somehow at the same time, more people will be able to resonate with what you made because the greater expression will either make them feel something they relate to or open their mind to something that they haven't felt before. I'll be real. My videos are probably never going to have, the impact on the world that, multi-million subscriber Harvard graduate Dr. K's do. But he's got, his life and his situation, and I've got mine. He has his voice, and I've got mine. He might save New York, but and I might be a, more friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, right? And who knows? The next Dr. K might be watching this video now, inspired to take the leap that they otherwise wouldn't have. I think I'm going to drown here. Oh, that was clutch. You know, or maybe they're watching yours. Maybe the next Dr. K will watch your video. Okay, I had to take a break from talking for a minute to beat that boss because, my God, Labyrinth Zone is a nightmare. I don't really want to be known as an influencer anyhow because, like, goddamn, that shit is cringe. Influencer might be the only word worse than content. The only reason I want to be an influence in any capacity is that I once witnessed a kid in Walmart asking his mom to get him a Jake Paul poster, and that made me want to jump off this building in Sonic the Hedgehog. That made me want to jump off a cliff in Minecraft, right? I lie awake at night and still think about that kid sometimes. I don't want to feed my ego by trying to convince people that they should look up to me or believe what I believe, but I would much rather the young men and the young people in the world look up to someone like me than someone like Jake Paul or Jordan Peterson or shit, what's the incel guy, you know, like the really bad one that got arrested in Romania? Oh, fuck me. Holy shit. I cannot believe I actually forgot his name. Oh, this is like euphoric. Oh, I cannot believe I actually forgot his name. That's awesome. Anyways, I knew I had a lot to say on the topic, and I knew I had a lot to say in this video, but I did not think that we would get all the way through the first Sonic the Hedgehog game in a single sitting. I have a lot of ideas pertaining to this stuff, and I have a lot more that I probably could say for this video, but there's only one last thing that I kind of want to give out, and that's a challenge. I want to challenge you. I challenge you to make something today. I want you to kind of go out and start something that you've been meaning to start, or if you've always wanted to learn something, go start learning it. You know, make today the day that happens. Leave a comment and let me know what that is for you, like what you're gonna make. Get started on it today, but you know, finish it or get it to a point where you can share it and share it with the people around you. You don't have to share it on the internet. You don't have to post it to YouTube, whatever. Just like share it with your friends or share it with your dad or whatever. The point is to get you to feel what it feels like to listen to that calling, listen to that voice that tells you to make something and create something, even if that voice today is me. And then once you finished it and shared it, come back to this video and reply to your comment and tell me what it was like to go out and make something like that. If you're feeling generous and want to support my, God damn it. If you're feeling generous and want to support my career as a creator, in the description and at the end of this video, you'll find links to my music and my website where you can become a member of the Neat Club and support content like this on a regular basis. Let me leave you today with a quote I have on my wall from another one of Matt Colville's videos that I really like. It's okay to think your ideas are cool and that people might like them. If you give it a shot and feel embarrassed at the ridiculous, tropey, cliche, poorly thought out nonsense you put in front of your audience, it doesn't mean that you are wrong and that you should stop. It means the opposite. It means you got to keep doing it until you learn how to develop those cool ideas so that when you put them in front of people, they will say, neat.